This is how to play Dakota by the Stereophonics. This video is part of the Andy Guitar Band program, where we're learning a set of songs on electric guitar and bass and drums. So we've got bass and drum tutorials in this series also. You'll find links to all that in the description, and then we'll play along to my band, which used to be called the Andy Guitar Band, but now Instagram has decided that we are going to be called Drums and Posers. That's the new name for the Andy Guitar Band. Thanks for that, Instagram. So yes, we're learning all the parts that I've demoed, not only in the intro there, but we have a couple of other lead guitar parts as well that we can learn, as well as just the power chords throughout. We also have the verse line. And we have one further lead line towards the end of the song. And then you can get to play this whole song along to my band at the end of this video. That is the intention of this. Let's start though with the signature intro of this song, which is this part. So I have, if I take the flanger off, I have just a crunch sound, the same as I have throughout this entire program, where we're just on the crunch setting, amp setting on the katana, EQ is neutral, and then we apply the flange effect, which is also on the Boss katana as well, but I've had to dig into the settings a little bit. You need to adjust the flanger settings on whatever pedal or the katana that you're using to have low rate and high depth. If I was Rob Chapman, I'd make a "that's what she said" joke there, but I'm not, so I'm not going to. But yeah, when they play this live, this part is on track. It's on a backing track. Because it does matter when you start playing as to what part of the phaser it is kind of on for it to sound correct. But we can play it. It is an E power chord if I take the phaser off. This is at the 7th fret and the 9th fret. Just an E5 E power chord. Only playing strings 5 and 4, sliding that down to frets 4 and 6, which is a C sharp power chord, sliding that down again to just have the 3rd finger, this is how I would play it anyway, the 3rd finger just stays on the same string, and that is at the 2nd fret. Open A string would mean this is an A5 or an A power chord, and then we're back up to here. That's 2 bars of each, with 8th strumming or 8th picking, chugging 8th notes as Thomas called it, Thomas being the other guitar player in my band. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... I'm also palm muting with the picking hands, and it is all about sliding. Notice how I sort of go from here. On that last one, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I can move this 3rd finger up a lot earlier. That is the trick there. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and move. So it's kind of on the 4 and get that 3rd finger back up. And arriving on the 1 is the key part there. So one more time, this is all that repeats for all of the verses, and I'm going to talk you through all the parts that I played first of all. So all the rhythm parts that I played on this guitar. This was that introduction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeat from there. That's all that was happening, okay? Those are the verses for my part. I deactivated the flanger I was using on the day for the chorus, and I played just an A5 power chord, so you could play with 2 fingers, but I like the chime of open strings, so I didn't mind using the open strings here. Feel like the one. Feel like the one. So unpalm muted for the A power chord, and then back to chugging 8ths on the E chord. It's a very simple rhythm song this, so it should be very quick for any band that you have that you're putting together to learn. Apologies, my singing is not like Kelly Jones, whose is, he's phenomenal. But it's a very good song for people to learn that want to play in bands. So we have the open, That's 4 bars of the A chord, 4 bars of the chugging E. That is all verses and all choruses. That's it. It's really, really simple. I'll just talk you through the bridge, which is an E power chord. And at this point, because I'm playing more strings, I could play the octave on top of the E. That would be fine. This is a B power chord because the root note is now on string 6, moving to an A. I don't know where I'm going now. Palm muting, and this is the part that I played. I don't know and even the take a look at me now, the very ending, it's just those exact same chords. So if you followed this series so far, that should be really straightforward to you, and we can actually spend more time, hopefully. If you need to play along and watch the band recording to find out how long each of those parts lasts for, that's all you would need to do to be able to play along to this entire song. There'll be a chord sheet linked to in the description below as well. The first lead line that I would have all of you learn is actually the one at the end, because it is the one that if you're playing the rhythm parts, it's the easiest one to jump to. So if you're strumming power chords all the way throughout this song, you can jump into and this is for the I don't know where we are going. That is the 9th fret to 11th fret, 9, 11 on the middle 2 strings. So starting off on the D string, string 4, and use a down, then an up pick, so alternate picking. The first lead line that is audible on the original recording is this. So this is the E note at the 9th fret on the 3rd string, going to the octave of that E note on the 12th fret of the thinnest E. You could play with this with your first and third finger, but I would probably use my little finger just for comfort, whether you're stood or sat down. No matter what you're normally used to, this would probably be my recommended way of doing it. Little finger, first to then third finger, which is at the 11th fret. And then to the 12th fret on the B string. So we're playing an E, we're playing a D sharp note, and then a B note, and an E. So it's like an E major 7. And that would be to a count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Now Thomas was playing that in between the other part, which I just don't recommend. It's not, frankly, what I told him to do. It's not something I'm going to be teaching here. It's way higher level. Even Thomas, who's a phenomenal player, really struggled to play it and made a few mistakes going for that part. It's also not what the Stereophonics do live. They just play that part when that part is audible, and then just for the verses, they move to this section, which I'll just turn down my volume a bit to clean up. So this is just an E chord, 2 notes from an E chord basically, the B and the G sharp, then move into a C sharp and the G sharp. But we're just thinking of this as 2 notes out of an E bar chord. So these are our first 2 notes. On string 2 and 3. Then our next 2 notes. Then that third finger moves to the root of the E. And that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4. To begin with, string 2, then 3. I would choose to do that up, down, which is something called directional picking. Even though it is alternate, our pick is moving in the direction of where the next string is. So if we picked down, then up, it's very slightly less economical. It's just something to get used to, directional picking, an idea to throw out there for you guys. The next one would be here. Then it's a change. We go from the lower string to the higher string. That is how I pick it. You could just do them all with down picks. It's not too fast to do just down picks. It's just slightly less economical. If we do that and something to have a go at, it will mean a bigger change in the middle, which is difficult. The only part left to learn is in the chorus. It goes throughout the entire chorus and it goes like this. Many people, and I think Thomas swapped this a couple of times, to do the bend with either the middle and first finger, or even the third finger supporting with what Paul Gilbert calls the giant finger, where we have all 3 fingers bending together. Because it's hard to get that bend in tune, even I've slipped a couple of times. But the notes are 12 and 11 on the thinnest string, on string 1. 12 on the B string, string 2. And then down to 9th fret on string 2 also. That happens twice. And then we bend, but the note that we're bending to is only there, okay? So, great opportunity to work on first finger string bending. It is done with the wrist in the same manner as if we were doing a third finger bend. Deceptively tricky. Those notes before, a piece of cake. This string bending, you may have problems with, especially getting the timing of it or anything like that, or getting the pitch right, but it is well worth, it's worth pointing out that I'm hitting this with the inside of my first finger. So I'm like this, right on the edge like here. I'm not like this, I'm not pushing up with that first finger in this manner. I'm on the side, in the inside of that first finger. Thumb is over the top. And I'm making sure for this specific bend, I'm making sure that that first finger does not press down any of the strings above it, otherwise that will create a noise, and that's not what we want, obviously. I'm making sure that that first finger lifts the other strings and keeps them above and doesn't press them down to the fretboard, so I'm making sure this doesn't happen. You can find more help with that in my electric guitar courses, which I'll link to in the description below. But, of course, here's the big part. We're going to get along to the full play along with the band now, so you can see all parts clearly played again. I would recommend that we play different to what Thomas is doing for a couple of the lead lines, because what he's doing is using his fingers, and that's not what the Stereophonics do, so that's not what we're going to do either. But whatever level you're at, I really hope you get something from this song, whether it's the lead lines or whether it's just playing the chugging eighth notes throughout the whole song just to get another song in your repertoire that you can play along to the full track. Try playing along to the Stereophonics, of course, it'd be great fun. But here is our cover of Dakota by the Stereophonics. Jam along with us. Thank you very much. Sounds very close. So there we are, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know what you think to this series in the comments below. Give it a like, share it with your friends, and of course you can check out more videos from this series right now.